Your physical body doesn't think of food for anything other than fuel. And someone asked the question to us the other day, what would an absolutely natural physical body eat? In other words, if it were a physical body that were absolutely motivated by its non-physical knowledge and intent, what would it eat? And we said, more natural things. Now by that we only mean things that are not processed so much, things that are not mixed together so much. Your body would crave fruit, and you may eat it all at one sitting. And another sitting, your body would crave something more like vegetables. And at another setting, something more like protein. In other words, your body would crave simpler foods. If you eat them together, and sometimes there is advantage to the combination of the food, your body would crave those perfect combinations. Your body would not crave sugar. Your body would not crave preservatives. Your body would not crave MSG. Your tongue does. In other words, the satisfaction of your taste does. And there's another part to it that we want to talk about here. You see, the cells of your body are easily satisfied. When you choose things that are a vibrational match to the cells of your body, your cells are easily satisfied and you feel fueled. You feel energy. Your cells are relaxed. In other words, when you eat what your cells naturally are asking for, you eat for fuel. In the same way that when your gas tank is empty, you put more gasoline in it. You don't put pizza or donuts or anything like that. You put the fuel that is in harmony with your engine. You would do the same thing with your body. If you don't, in other words, if you're already on a different track, and most physical beings in your society are, when you introduce to your body something like sugar, there's a good dose of it there, or caffeine, there is some of that there, or preservatives, when you introduce those substances that are not natural to your body, your blessed body, which is so resilient, acclimates to them. Acclimates, meaning it makes itself work anyway. In other words, it absorbs it, it consumes it, it does the best it can with it, and it compensates for it. Can you hear the word? It compensates for it. But it has to work harder to compensate for these foods than it would if you were giving it the foods that are natural to it. And in its compensating process, it overcompensates. Well, as it overcompensates, it's overcompensating on a cellular level. Can you hear us? As it's overcompensating, now it feels like it is a craving to you. In other words, that overcompensation to you now feels like it's asking for more of it. And so that translates to you. Have you ever had something like a box of chocolates or something that someone sent to you, and you want to eat one or two? In other words, there is something awfully satisfying about eating it and savoring it and enjoying it, but then you find yourself wanting more. There's a sort of illogical craving where you've gone far beyond the limit that your stomach really wants, far beyond the limit of satisfaction. In other words, you're not even really enjoying it, but you're consuming it in some sort of obsessive way. What's happening, some of you are relating and some of you aren't, but what's happening there is the cells of your body, in their trying to compensate for this weird stuff you've given it, are now overcompensating, which is setting up an attitude of craving, which is you're getting a sense of what we're talking about. That's why people have discovered that sometimes a fast or a cleansing, sometimes they use juices or just water, is sometimes the very best thing to do in starting a new process. It's very extreme. We don't really recommend it because it is so extreme. But one thing that it does do is it sort of puts your cells back into the place of knowing what's more natural. It's sort of like going cold turkey for a little while, getting off the drug that the cells have acclimated to. And sometimes it's a much easier way to begin. Do you feel that you are motivated to eat from your head or from your cells? In other words, do you think you are called more by your palate or by your desire for fuel?
By my palate.
And so perhaps this information will put you into a place of choosing a little bit more deliberately. And like most things, it only takes a day or two or three or four of being deliberate about it before you have developed a new pattern. And that's why, haven't you noticed that you can get on a trend where suddenly it's hard for the first 2 or 3 days, and then suddenly it isn't so hard anymore? until you are influenced by something else, where you get back into that other train of thought. So it's just a matter of pulling yourself in. Now, we are not suggesting that you have to go out and eat nuts and berries. We're not suggesting that you have to deprive yourself from all of this other stuff. But what we are saying is you are going to discover much more satisfaction in simpler foods. And as you begin to discover the satisfaction in simpler foods, this business of being guided by your palate instead of by your physical body's desire for fuel, the only other alternative is to get your body so much in motion that the need of the cells changes. In other words, if you can get your body to move enough that the cells of your body are generating a sort of nuclear activity, they can burn anything that you've eaten. But you have to get your body moving pretty fast before it can do that easily. But your body can take care of the things that it's naturally calling for in the course of a normal day's activities. You see. So what happens is, in this society, is you have learned to guide yourself through flavor, through satisfying your palate. You are consuming things that are not natural to the cells. The cells work very hard at then compensating for this stuff that you've eaten. If you increase the activity of your body to very high levels, which usually amounts to running or something very aerobic, then your body can deal with all that your palate has asked for. But if you stop that and the palate is still asking, then your body is out of balance. Yes. Good.
Thank you.
Time to eat?